Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Layla and today I'm giving y'all an update on Q1 2024. Q1 was very strong for me financially, and I'm very grateful and excited to be able to say that and to see the numbers that I'm seeing, to see the progress that I have made over the last 3 months. As I say in just about every one of these videos, these are one of my favorites to film, like to prep for and to film, just because when I'm prepping for it, I get to see my numbers, like the progress that I've made in 3 months. And I always want to encourage people to also look at their finances from Q1. So look at the beginning of January to the end of March and, look at your debt. If you have debt, how much did you pay down? How much did you save? What is your net worth growth? All of those data points are really cool to see on a quarterly basis. It's even better when you look at the full year, but there's often times throughout the year where we feel kind of slumpy or unmotivated and you are, hustling and grinding on your finances, paying down debt, whatever it is that you're working toward with your finances. It can get really exhausting and almost feel like you're behind, or it just gets kind of boring. But when you look at the progress on a larger scale like that at 3 months instead of just 1 month, you can see that you have made a lot of progress. And I don't know, for me, it's always motivating to look forward to the next quarters coming up. Before we get to my numbers though, I do want to give a thank you to Mint Mobile for partnering with me for this video. If you've been thinking about switching your phone plan, or even if you're just looking for areas in your life where you can cut back on spending, now is a great time to switch over to Mint Mobile because they do still have their promo going on where you can save even more money by switching. If you're looking for unlimited talk and text, mobile hotspot, high quality speed, data, coverage, and access to 5G, Mint Mobile offers all of that for as low as $15 per month. They're built on the nation's largest 5G network, and they're able to keep costs low because they sell directly to you online, meaning they cut out the retail stores and the salespeople. All you have to do is visit mintmobile.com/debtoverit or click the link in my description box. Enter in a little bit of information about yourself. From there, you can also determine if your phone is eSIM compatible, and if it is, you can quickly set things up right from the comfort of your home. If your phone is not eSIM compatible, that is no problem either. They will ship you a SIM card at no extra cost, and you will get that in a couple of days, and then you can still set everything up right from the comfort of your home. And yes, you still get to keep your same phone number. I've been using Mint Mobile for a couple of years now, and I'm so grateful to be able to save on my phone plan while still getting the coverage that I need. So stop paying more than you need to for your phone plan, and right now you can actually save even more because new customers can get any plan for just $15 per month when you purchase 3 months or more, and this even includes the unlimited plan, which is usually $30 per month. If you want to take advantage of this offer, visit mintmobile.com/debtoverit or click the link in my description box. Thank you again to Mint Mobile for partnering with me on this video, and now let's get to my Q1 updates. I'm going to be going through the numbers that I usually go through. I am looking down at my notebook here. So first up, we're going to start with my online income, and these are going to be my gross earnings. In January, that was $7,216. February, $4,330. March, $5,161. And altogether, that is $16,707. I would have to go back and look if that's been the best quarter ever, but I think it might be. If it's not, it's up there. Like maybe it's the second or third, but I think it might be number 1. So that's really exciting. I've also seen a lot of growth across my business. So not only have my YouTube subscribers increased, which thank y'all. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being here. Welcome. If you're new, let me know if you have any questions. I really appreciate y'all for being here. I've also seen a lot of growth in just views. I've seen growth in coaching and affiliate sales. So yeah, thank y'all so much. This is amazing to see and gives me a lot of hope for when I take my business full time. Now moving on to investments, we're first going to start with my Roth IRA. At the start of Q1, I had $24,779 in my Roth IRA. Now I did add $7,000 in Q1. That was actually only in January. I completely maxed out my Roth IRA for 2024 in January, and that was $7,000. And then my Roth IRA at the end of Q1 was at $34,974. So that was an increase of $10,195. Now my whole Roth IRA is invested in VTSAX. The market is up right now, or at least at the end of Q1 it was. I did add in the 7,000, so obviously that helped. That was the bulk of the growth, but also VTSAX was up. So altogether saw a pretty large increase. It's definitely very cool to be over 30,000 there, especially because I didn't max out my Roth IRA for the first time until 2022. Well, technically it was 2023 because I finished maxing it out January 2023 for 2022. Next up would be my brokerage accounts. Now I have two, one with M1 Finance and then one with Vanguard. The one with M1 Finance is all invested in VTF, so still a Vanguard ETF. The one I have with Vanguard is all invested in VGT. Now the bulk of the money that I have here is invested in VTI with M1 Finance, but they recently announced that they're going to start charging a monthly fee to be with them if you don't have over $10,000 invested, and I don't, so I might move everything to Vanguard, but I'm not 100% sure yet. I've mentioned this a couple of times already. I was just bummed to see that they're going to start charging a fee and don't really want to pay that because to me that's like, you shouldn't have done that. But for now, it's still there and I'll keep you updated if I do end up moving it. The reason I'm hesitant is because there's a $100 fee to move from M1 Finance to wherever you go, which I would go to Vanguard. So I'm not too sure yet because obviously $3 per month, it would take quite some time. It would take a lot of months to reach $100. And then at that point, I would, maybe be over the 10,000 mark and stop having to pay the fee. But it's kind of like y'all are doing that and you shouldn't be doing that. So I don't want to support it. I want to show them that, you can't hang on to customers by doing something like that. But I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, started quarter one. The total between the two was $8,266. I did not add anything to either of them. But at the end of quarter one, I was at $9,071, so that was an increase of $805. Again, this was just growth in the market. Next would be my 401k. Start of quarter one, I was at $21,262. I did contribute to my 401k a total of $7,996, and that was actually $6,733 from me, my contribution. My company matches 6% of my salary, and that was $1,263. At the end of quarter one, my 401k reached $31,790, so that was an increase of $10,528. Obviously, I contributed quite a bit here as well, and then the growth in the market. I can never remember exactly what I'm invested. It's just two things that I'm invested in with my 401k. I think like VIMAX, something like that. I'll pop it up on the screen because I could be wrong. But also very exciting here to be over $30,000, and I did not start contributing to my 401k until March of 2022. So I feel like this grew very, very quickly just because you contribute to it twice a month. My company matches it, and then for all of quarter one, I was doing 32% of my pay, which, that's a lot of money. So I've just seen this grow really, really quickly. Now let's talk about my savings. So this is just savings in my high yield savings account. At the start of quarter one, I had $30,678. And obviously I was adding a lot to my savings accounts, but also I took out some. So this included what I had saved, the $7,000 I had saved from my Roth IRA, but obviously I pulled from that to be able to invest it. And then I was adding a bunch to the various sinking funds that I've been working towards. So I don't have that exact number, like what the difference was from what I took out versus what I put in, just because this includes a lot of sinking funds, which I'm adding to frequently, but also pulling from fairly frequently. But at the end of quarter one, I reached $32,643, and that's an increase of $1,965. Now, as for my net worth, which is the most exciting update for this, in my opinion, at the start of quarter one, my net worth was $83,853. At the end of quarter one, I reached $108,130, which means I saw an increase of $24,277. Now, obviously, between everything, I did invest and save a lot of money. Like you can see just from my investments, it was like, over $15,000. And then savings made up quite a bit of this, but the market was definitely up, so that helped. And it's just really cool to see because the bulk of the money here, of the $108,000, about $76,000 is actually invested. And now that I have much more invested, obviously I'm going to continue to invest and make that grow. But the more that you have invested, the more your money works for you. Even the more that you have saved. If you have your money in a high yield savings account, you'll see that each month I'm making 90 something, 100 something just from interest in those high yield savings accounts. And then I get dividends that are reinvested back into my brokerage, back into, my Roth IRA, my 401k. My money, these platforms are doing the work for me, and it's just so incredible to see already, like to be able to see this growth with this amount that I have invested. And I can just imagine what, if you have like 200,000 invested and beyond that, how much more growth you would experience just from passive growth. I know I always talk about this and like mention this in these videos, but it's mind-blowing to me. Like, it's so cool. And I have a couple of clients who have much more money invested, and each time I take a look at their numbers, I'm like, oh my goodness, like to see on a monthly basis, you can see a jump in your net worth, a positive jump of like $60,000, $70,000, like a whole year's salary in 1 month of growth across your investments. Like, can you imagine? That's crazy. So I'm very much looking forward to that. It's going to take some time, obviously, but I've already noticed the positives of investing heavily, saving heavily. So just let this be encouragement and motivation for you to keep your spending in check and keep saving and investing as much as you can and as much as you're comfortable with. Let's talk about the goals that I set for quarter 1. First goal was to make at least $12,000 from my online income from my business. I did achieve that. As I said, I made $16,707, so a little bit more than I was aiming for. I wanted to put $8,000 or more to savings, and I did achieve that. Now, like I said, I took some money out of my savings as well, but I put a bunch to savings too. In January, I finished my beauty sinking fund, which was $3,000. In February, I finished my business sinking fund, which was $4,000. And then in March, I finished my travel sinking fund, which was $6,000. And then I was adding to like my car maintenance sinking fund, my car insurance, my gift sinking fund. Obviously, I'm going to pull from those at some point, but those still count while I have them in my net worth numbers. That's personal preference. If you don't want to do that, then you don't have to. But they're there for the most part and definitely count toward this goal that I set, so well over 8,000, I would say. And then the third goal that I set for Q1 was to reach a net worth of $100,000 or more. I knew that this would happen in Q1. I was hoping I would get to that in 2023, but that didn't quite happen. That's okay. I am very happy to have accomplished that now. And I did achieve that in March. So I was very close in February, but ended up by the end of Q1, I got to that. But yeah, I hit all 3 goals. That's not something that happens all the time. So very excited to see that. And then I did set some goals for Q2, but they are pretty similar to what I just went through. Goal number 1 is $12,000 or more in online income. I'm keeping it the same, even though I saw more in Q1, just because Q2 is usually a little bit slower. We're going into the warmer months, into the summer months, and that's when I've noticed for the past couple of years when my business has been bigger, that's when I start to drop, like especially in May. I usually have a lower income from my business, so I'm going to keep it at $12,000 because I think that's a pretty good number. Goal number 2, $6,000 or more to savings. So same reason here, because I'm expecting my income to decrease a little bit over Q2. I don't think I'll be able to save as much. The other thing, I made these goals after finding out that I owed taxes for 2023. I had to pay over $2,000 for taxes, and that took away from my savings for April quite a bit. I know we're freshly into April, so maybe that will change depending on my income, but yeah, I just don't think I'll be able to save as much in April as I expected to. And then final goal, I would like to reach a net worth of $125,000 in Q2. So that would mean I would need to increase my net worth by about $17,000. I think on a usual basis, I see an increase of like $14K. 24 is definitely high, which I saw in Q1. So yeah, this might be a stretch goal because it's not like I can add more to my Roth IRA. It's really going to be my 401k, growth in the market, and my savings. If I end up making more from my business, then I can put more to savings. So not sure on that one, but 125. That's everything for Q1. Let me know if y'all have any questions. I know that I'll be making an update for Q2 in no time. This year is flying by. But again, let this be a reminder to definitely take a look at your finances from the last quarter and take a look at your accomplishments. Be proud of those accomplishments, celebrate those accomplishments. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for being here. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next one.